What would it be, and would you call it to his face? If you were faced with him in all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one question? And yeah, God is great, and yeah, God is good, and yeah. What if God was one with us? Couldn't stop his love for us. Help a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. If God had a face, what would it look like, and would you want to see? If seeing meant that you would have to believe in things like heaven and in Jesus and the saints and all the prophets, and yeah, God is great, and yeah, God is good, and yeah. What if God was one with us? Couldn't stop his love for us. Help a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. Just trying to make his way home. Show him to heaven on his own. No need to call him on the phone. Say hi to the Pope, maybe in Rome. God is great, and yeah, God is good, and yeah. What if God was one with us? Couldn't stop his love for us. Help a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. Just trying to make my way home. Like a holy rolling stone, back up to heaven on my own. Just trying to make my way home. No need to call me on the phone. Say hi to the Pope, maybe in Rome.
You may begin now by gently closing your eyes, taking 3 breaths, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out, taking a deep breath in with your heart, slowly exhaling within you, your breath traveling along your spine, down into the base of your spine and legs, rooting you strongly into the earth. As you relax into your seat, bring your gentle attention to the space before your eyes. peering into your third eye chakra. As you look into the vast space, allow yourself to become aware of your heart's presence. Stay in the awareness of your heart, your soul's prominent presence becoming known to you. Allow this energy to take form. Where you slowly become aware of glimpses of your divine self. A humbling revealing. As you feel the powerful peace of yourself, your soul essence is taking its form before your eyes. You may now see glimpses of parts of your divine image, your divine hair, or your divine skin, little shining glimpses of your divine garment. Allow it all to take its form as you stand before yourself. Begin to feel the emotions and feelings you bring up for you. How does your divine self feel to you? Feel the beautiful, peaceful, happy joy of who you are in the light. As you feel the light that you are, embodied, untouched and magnificent. Now you are ready to go deeper. As you sink into your feelings, notice a deeper bad feeling arise. The next natural feeling that bubbles up on its own. What does it say about you? Does it say that you are bad? You are unworthy? or you do not deserve love. Let these thoughts take form before you as giant ice blocks. As they erect themselves from the bad feelings. Each thought, belief, an ice block in itself. You notice that it makes you feel bad. But you, O light, can see through it. You can see through the ice. Being present with your divine light self, let your holy light shine from your heart. The light made of love. Shine warmly through the ice blocks of negative beliefs and thoughts. Slowly and surely melting away each one of them. The divine warmth of your soul essence melting away every cold thought that you held about yourself within. You are now cleansed and clear. As you continue to shine your divine love completely, allow your only inner light shine in its blissful peace and perfect beauty. You are loved, you are beautiful, and you are divine. And so you shall remain. Peacefully, with joy, inhaling your being of light into your present self now. Embodying your true self, you may now gently open your eyes.
So I already have the cards pre-shuffled, and the deck that I will be using is Oracle of the Angels. This is a really lovely deck. I love this. So let's just jump right into it. So the first card that I have is Believe. So this is a really beautiful card. If you look at it, you can see it's like a really tiny person on a boat in the middle of the water. And it's like they're on a journey, right? They're going on this journey in this water, and they're in front of them, right before them is a woman with her hands spread out. It's like Divine Mother, right? Just ready to welcome them and is there for them. And so I love this card because I feel like, this is perfect and on point with the message for today. It's like if you are headed towards your dreams, right? And you are trying to hold on to control, it can kind of cloud your clarity and make it really hard to believe and make it really hard for you to just like believe in your dreams, to trust in your journey towards your dreams and the process towards like achieving your dreams or your heart's desire, right? And so it's really just about believing and letting go of that control on your spiritual journey, right? Your twin flame journey. And like seeing that you are like, you're very supported, you're very loved, and that you just to like believe, right? And in order to like believe, we have to allow ourselves to surrender into that process. And the more we surrender, the easier it is to see like the direction that God has for us and to trust in God's direction for us. So this is a really good card. I also love it too because like the kind of like the boat, if you look really close to, like the boat is illuminated and there's like birds and stuff, and really like letting go of control and allowing yourself to just believe like everything is going to be okay and to surrender. It sets you free. That's really that symbolism there. It sets you free on your spiritual journey to know that everything is going to work out and that it's not going according to your plan, it's going according to God's plan. So on to the next card. So the next card we have is joy. Joy. So I just thought of that song, Joy to the World. So if you just, you see her, you have a woman, she's just standing there and she's just got all this like sparkling light just surrounding her. And she's just, she's feeling herself. She's feeling good. And this is really what it's about. This is what the spiritual journey is about. And your twin flame journey, like, is to live a life of joy, right? And to, follow your heart's desire. And through that process of letting go of control, you gain more joy. You gain more, joy in your life. And it brings you more joy when you just relax and you allow yourself to let God take the lead, Jesus take the steering wheel, like kind of like that, right? So more joy when we surrender and allow ourselves to follow God's lead. It becomes easier and we just like relax. And there's like water behind her too. And, it's just with the next, like with that card too, emotionally setting yourself free is really another thing that I think of with the water behind her. Like when you let go of control, you are setting yourself free emotionally so you can feel more good and more joy is flowing within yourself and in your life. So I love that. So the next card that we have is the Eternal Light of Love. This is a really nice card. This is a cool card. There's like a lot going on in this card. So if you see here, we have a woman standing here with a sword. And then there's like a man behind her, right? Just like with his hands out, and he is supporting her. There's also like a rainbow down here. It's really small, and waterfall. And all these like little buildings here, or homes and stuff. So with this card, I just kind of think like coming after the joy card, I think of like how you really allow yourself to step in your power here. And this is about you claiming your power here, stepping into your power and seeing that you are supported and loved by God on your journey. She's got the sword here and just, stepping into your power, and that like all your dreams, right? Your foundation for your life and, your heart's desires, they're all going to come true as you relax into that process and allow God to lead. And, your power is in your peace, right? It's not in control, because control gives us like a false sense of power. It makes us think that we are doing something, but we're not. We're just slowing things down. And so it's just an invitation that like your foundation, your powers, and your peace, and that God is right here behind you, supporting you every step of the way, and that you can just allow yourself to, relax into that process. God is right there behind you. Everything is all good. So thank you so much, everybody, and I hope that you enjoyed this card reading and that you enjoy the rest of today's Sunday sermon. So thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to today's Sunday service. I'm Lara, and today I'd like to welcome you to Aber's sermon on surrendering control. So I'm very happy about the topic Aber has chosen for today's sermon. And because I have had a lot of experience with this myself on my own ascension path. So the ascension path, the ascension way to God, is in fact really a way of letting go of control. And what we do on this path is dissolve fear in our consciousness and bring love to where we feel separated from love, from God. So control is always fear-based and comes from the illusion of separation, from ego, so to speak. So whenever we perceive control within us, it is safe to let go of it and give to ourselves within us what we really need: safety, love, trust in God, everything that allows us to relax and find comfort and peace, so that we feel safe to let go of control and feel deeper surrender. And in this surrender, in this devotion, we can feel the love. We feel the oneness, one with love. So for me personally, there were many, many points on my own path where I was asked to give everything to God. That was who my twin flame is. That was the attachment to my children's path. And yes, it was myself very often. So my own ideas about myself, all the roles I have given myself. And what happened when I surrender was, whenever I was able to let go of control or these roles, more deeply. And of course, I was able to master this through the inner work and lots of support from our Ascension coach. So whenever I was able to let go, I was rewarded with much more love, more fulfillment, more of myself, more God. So within myself and also in my twin flame union. And one of my biggest challenges just recently was to let go of the attachment of my children more deeply and really let them be free to follow their own path. So they are free to decide whether they want to grow up with us as a healing family or live with their biological father, who wants nothing to do with healing, with spirituality at all. So deep fears of losing them in a way arose in me, but through the healing and the truth of recognizing that they are God's children and that they are free to choose without me controlling them or their path, their experience, I was able to truly love them unconditionally. Yeah, and so I was able to let go of the control I still held here in my consciousness. And yeah, since then, wonderful things have been happening in our family. Yeah, I feel very grateful when I can share this with you, because my daughters who choose from their heart to live with us, they are just getting closer now. So we are all getting closer as a family. And yeah, my twin flame has been able to grow deeper in the role of the head of the family. So this was also like a breakthrough for us. Yeah, which gives us all a lot of harmony and peace and more relaxation in our family. So there's so much more love going on in this family, yeah, which makes me really, really happy and humble and very grateful. So the fear and the control I still felt to keep somehow. That was really a big thing for me as a mother. But what I got when I surrendered is so much love and liberation and gratitude. And I feel it is also like I can really respect God and His children, because He created us with free will. And by letting go of control, He can guide and lead us, yeah, to our highest good, every one of us. So the big lesson for me was not to attach to the children, to their path, but to trust the love in them, God in them. Yeah, and as Buddha said, that attachment is the root of all suffering. So it is really very safe to find these places in us where we hold attachments and where we try to control, and really give it to God. Surrender it to the Most High and let God lead the way for us. I'm looking forward to Aber's beautiful sermon on surrendering control, and I hope you enjoy watching it.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's Sunday service. My name is Abir. Today I will be speaking on how when we surrender all our control to God, God makes all our dreams happen. So let us begin with our 3 opening Oms followed by our opening prayer. You may take a deep breath and chant aloud or in your heart. And now our opening prayer. I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary, where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His word. Today, I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In Christ's name, Om, Amen. So, dear friends, this is something that is very close to my heart, and I have been applying this as I am continuing to be a student of the teachings of Union, and I continue to go deeper and discover more and more juicy relationship with God and getting to know myself in a deeper way. So, as I continue healing, I noticed that the more I healed, the more patterns of control came in front. And I understood that the root of all my suffering was coming from fear and control. Wherever I decided that I knew better, or wherever I had uh, been adamant about, you know, this is how things should be, and not surrendering to God, this is where I felt that I was suffering the most. So, as you continue to do the mirror exercise, one realizes that this is a continuous process of surrender and deepening your love and your relationship with God. All mirror exercise does is replacing those places where we felt fear, where we felt control, where we felt that the ego was harnessing bad feelings. We replace it with love. And what is love? Love is God. Love is all that we are. Only love is real, and that is where God lives. So when we surrender into love, then that is when the Spirit, which is God, can work through us, can work miracles through us. So I knew this theoretically, but when I kept healing, I kept doing the mirror exercise, I found many places and uprooted within my consciousness where I was controlling. And I continued to surrender. I surrendered my source of finance, I surrendered my source of life purpose, my source of love, my source of relationships, my source of my intimate partnership, and my source of parenthood, and my source of friendship, everything to God. And the deeper I go, the deeper I desire to have more connections and a deeper relationship with God. So, as I continued to do that, I noticed that shifts started happening in my life. I was presented by recently, there was a lot of budget cut here in Australia, and this year we were kind of going through a mini recession. We still are moving through recession. So during this recession period, the organization that I was working with was the local government transport department. Prior to that, for several years, I worked in the banking industry. And as I kept healing, I noticed that I enjoy more, working in a service based organization and not something that is profit based. So it wasn't sitting well in my consciousness. I was being knocked on and called to join the government because it was closer to what my soul desires. And I completely surrendered it to God and I followed the yellow brick road. It just felt better. So previously, after I let go of the banking industry, I was offered a role with the transport department, and I continued working there for several months, a year and a half or so. And recently, due to the recession that has hit the Australian market, I was forced to look for another job. So, as I was applying for jobs, I was invited into the older vibration of applying to the banks again, and I was highly disappointed. I kept praying to God. And then my recruiter reached out and she said that there is a position available in the government sector again. I was really excited and happy. And she said it is with the Department of Police. And at first, I was kind of skeptical or I ignored it. And then, as it kept coming up, God was showing me signs again and again that this is for you. So I said yes, and I wanted to go ahead for the interview. But my hesitation was not only coming from whether I wanted to do the job or not, and I realized that the hesitation was coming from the fact that I had deep trauma that I worked through in MAP as well, where I had had a negative experience with the Department of Police when I was living in India. So this trauma had kind of left some residue in my mind. So I kept working on and doing my mirror exercise. And I was thankful to the universe for showing me if there was anything left in my consciousness that was still playing out from the fear or control. So I continued working through the mirror exercise and cleared all my blocks with my coach. And lo and behold, I was offered the role with police. And when I joined the police department, I was so overjoyed. I have not felt so light and so happy ever working since the time I've been working. So I've been working for past, say, 15 years or so. This is the first time I feel very, very happy, and more so because I remembered when I joined the police department, I remembered that it was my childhood dream to actually work with the police, because I used to watch the series, The X Files. And in that X Files, there was a couple, and I felt that my twin flame is going to join me, and we are going to investigate and find beautiful things about nature. You know, it used to be about the truth is out there, and that is what used to excite me a lot. So I felt like my childhood dream had come true, and I am really, really enjoying this role right now. I had prayed to Ma Durga about it as well when I was working through the process, and I said, Ma, is this for me? And she said, of course, because I am also like police. I love you and protect you. So you will be doing that through this department, loving and protecting her children. So, my friends, I would like to conclude by sharing what the teachings of union have guided me through this process. Jeff and Shaleia have offered this in their classes and often said, I have a quote in front of me that says, God leads the way, God is in control, and in surrendering control to God, one can rest in the fact that you are led to your highest good. I love the way it has been spoken. It says, one can rest in the fact that you are led to the highest good. God is in control, and in surrendering control to God, one can rest in the fact that you are led to your highest good. This is what exactly happened to me. Although I was not actively following this dream of mine, I had this at the back of my mind, and I felt like God had just brought this as a surprise. I wasn't actively following. All I made the choice was that I wanted to work in the government sector because I enjoyed working in the transport department. But God knew that there was something even better for me. So it's like that meme that we usually see where there is a depiction of God and a little girl who is holding a small teddy bear, and God is actually holding a bigger teddy bear and asking for the smaller one. So as soon as I surrendered the smaller teddy bear, God was ready for a bigger one. So God is always ready for the bigger teddy bear. All we need to do is continue to surrender and not attach anything on the outside. So my humble request to everyone is, where check in within yourself. Where are you controlling? What aspects of your life are you still running out of control and fear, or from the place of survival mode, that okay, this is what I have, this is what I have to live with. It's time to just sit and pray to God, and it's time to feel your feelings there, love yourself, and surrender those places to God. It's God, you can apply the mirror exercise in all areas of your life, whether it be your health, your mental health, your physical health, your finances, your relationships, your job situation, everything, life purpose. So that's what the teaching is all about, is to more and more uh, receive the love of God in your life in all aspects. So my humble request to you is ask yourself this question: where are you still holding on to control? Where are you forcing yourself to do something that you don't like doing? Where are you not ready to release control and give it to God? Once you have the answers, all you need to do is make a new choice there, that I choose to release control in this area of my life and give it all to God. Once you surrender it to God, God knows best what to do with it. And lo and behold, you will be very surprised by what comes out of it. It's also best not to get attached to your dreams of how the dreams will come true. It's always more fun to allow God to surprise you through His beautiful ways. All you need to do is follow your heart and follow the yellow brick road. This is something that Shaleia always says, that the promise of dreams is that they always come true. So that is for sure. After this incident in my life, I am becoming more and more assured that all my dreams are naturally going to come true. All I need to do is continue to surrender and release control. All right, my friends, this is what I had to offer for this Sunday service. Lastly, let us conclude with our closing prayer and closing Oms. Father, I accept your word into my heart. I will honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union, that I may be forever in union with you. I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I will not deny my brother your word and will share your teaching with him in any way you ask and only as you ask. For when I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him. In Christ's name, Om, Amen. Speaking this prayer in your heart means you have accepted that you are on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teachings of union with God wherever you find them and purify your consciousness into perfect union with your Creator. And now, our closing Oms. You may chant out loud or in your heart. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.
Hi everyone and welcome back. So I really enjoyed Aber's sermon on surrendering control and especially her story. And I hope you did too. So what stood out for me was that she really followed her good feeling in her heart. She really followed her heart and it brought her so much bliss. Yeah, and that her childhood dream is now coming true. by loving and protecting God's children. Yeah, that was very touching for me. Yeah, because this is what Jeff and Shaleia teach, right? The promise of dreams is that they come true. And it's like, I feel you give yourself to God, you surrender everything to Him, and you are not attached to the external circumstances. And in surrendering control, God can lead us to our dreams. Yeah, He can lead us in the fastest and most compassionate and also most efficient way. So God knows the way. And yeah, it's completely safe to trust God. Yeah, and Aber also asked in her sermon, where do you still hold on to control? And she invites us to let go of it. So if you feel you still want to control something, it is really safe to let it go now. So you can't force peace, you can't force or push love, but you can always relax deeper into yourself, into the love in yourself, into peace, and into God. And yeah, so you receive more. You receive more of it by surrendering and open yourself up to God. Yeah, to love itself. So this is the way, releasing the fears, releasing the control, and receiving more peace. So if what Aber shared and said resonates with you, you can consider to tithe and donate to the church, so we can naturally expand the message of union with the world. And yes, I invite you to tithe at unionism.org. And yeah, I invite you also to like and subscribe at our YouTube channel. And yeah, you can also watch all of our previous sermons here and also on our website. You are also invited to our after church tea time discussion. So please feel free to join our Facebook group. It's the Unionism Spiritual Discussion Group. So I hope you enjoyed the sermon today, and I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday, and see you all next time. Thank you and namaste.